But what are the main differences between Copic and Ohuhu alcohol markers? Let me show you. When it comes to price point, the largest Copic set featuring all their colors costs like 3 iPhones. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll never be able to buy it. The largest Ohuhu set instead is only a fraction of the price. I mean, this is definitely more affordable and makes Ohuhu score 1 in this comparison. All my markers have a chisel nib and a brush nib, and I'll be only discussing the brush tip since this is what I use the most. Both Copic and Ohuhu have a similar brush nib, but I find the Copic one is a bit thinner and more flexible on the paper. I mean, it acts almost like a real brush with bristles. Anyway, each of these marker tips have a great ink load and it's well saturated with ink, so I never had problems with dried out markers or with split brush tips. At this point, we're 1-to-1. Ohuhu markers are a bit bigger in size than Copic Chow markers, and they're completely different than Copic Sketch markers. By the way, Copic Chow and Copic Sketch are basically the same. The only thing is that Copic Sketch contain more ink inside, and this is why they're more expensive. Also, they have the color information both on the barrel and on a cap. And this is very useful when you have a lot of open markers on your desk and you have to find the right cap for each marker. Anyway, Ohuhu don't carry this information on the barrel, and I find it very tricky. During the past few years, Ohuhu has increased their color range, and now they basically have the same amount of colors as Copic, which is 320 colors against 358 colors by Copic. Here we have, in my opinion, one of the big downsides of Ohuhu markers, because their color system makes no sense to me and to other artists as well. Let me show you how the Copic color system works so that you can see what I mean. Each color name is made of letters and numbers. The letters are the initials of the color group, and there are 12 color groups such as blue, blue-violet, blue-green, yellow-green, yellow, to mention a few. While the first number indicates the color saturation and so the transparency level. So 0 means the color is very light, while 9 means the color is very opaque. The second number is about value and so the color brightness. So 3 zeros indicate the brightest color, while 9 indicates the darkest color. Now, Ohuhu names are too messy, because why this cool gray is called BG if in their color system B stands for blue and G for green. So BG for me is blue-green and not cold gray. Also, as you can see, these 4 progressive numbers from the same green group don't look so progressive because they're not light to dark colors. But what these numbers mean though, I hope one day I'll find it. I can't tell for sure which of these inks last forever because I didn't use them for so long, but what I can tell from my experience is that Ohuhu ink really soaks into the paper and it's like it's staining the paper. I've heard from other fellow artists that when the ink stains the paper, it means it's not a high quality ink. I mean, it makes sense since Ohuhu costs a lot less than Copic markers and they may have saved on the ink quality. Anyway, I can't tell this is a bad thing since Ohuhu ink looks very saturated and vibrant on the paper, so I think it's 1-to-1. Even though Ohuhu has almost the same number of colors as Copic, I still can find very light shades. If you have their biggest set, let me know in the comments if there are very transparent colors such as Copic 4 zeros markers. Copic has such light colors, you can barely see them on paper with just one layer. This is why they're great for layering, and since I'm used to watercolors, I love building the color on paper through many layers. I've only found mid to dark tones in the Ohuhu pastel set, and the second layer makes the color so much dark and saturated than I've expected. I'm really hoping to have the chance to try the lighter shades if there are, but for the moment this is a big downside for me. When it comes to blending, both brands work very well. I've tried to blend two different colors as well as two similar colors, and although Ohuhu colors tend to get darker with a few layers, I think the result is still good and it's not too muddy. Copic, of course, blend very well and effortless, and the colors don't get muddy, they look soft and transparent, like they were watercolors. You may prefer vibrant and opaque colors rather than delicate colors, depending on your art style. I personally prefer the second vibe, but I still think that both brands work very well when it comes to blending. Now I let you a little demo where I color some flowers, first with Ohuhu markers, then with Copics. Let me know which of them you prefer in the end. So in conclusion, it's obvious there aren't so huge differences between Copic and Ohuhu markers. I think the main difference is about the price and the transparent colors. If you prefer a delicate look for your art, then you may want to try the lighter shades from Copic, and if you want to get very intense colors, then you should definitely try one of the Ohuhu sets. So we can tell that Ohuhu is a reliable brand that offers good quality supplies at an affordable price, and now that it offers a good range of colors and replacement nibs and also ink refills for some of their colors, along with the ability to purchase markers individually, Ohuhu is the main competitor to Copic. So these are my thoughts and tests with these two brands. I hope you'll find it useful. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye!